it's me again. Um, if you're new here, I'm Mercedes, and I usually talk about like tattoo content and everything, but I get a lot of questions about my breast augmentation, especially because I've had two of them. So that's actually what I'm going to be answering today. I would appreciate if you would like and subscribe or even share this video. If it helps you, definitely let me know. And then if you have anything else that you want to ask me questions about, definitely leave it down in the comment section. Um, so I got my first breast augmentation back in November of 2020. When I had gotten it, I had a flat chest, so I was a little bit bigger growing up, and then even through high school, and I lost weight. And when I lost weight, the first thing to go with my boobs. Now, I never had really big boobs. That was never like something that I was blessed with. Um, so it was always something I was very insecure about. So I went to my consultation, picked out the size. Now my surgeon does refer to me as a weight loss patient because my boobs were deflated from weight loss. Um, so when I chose a size, the first size I went to, a lot of women have this. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's almost all women, where they have, one breast that's bigger than the other. So I had a 355cc implant in one, and I had a 385cc implant in the other. I don't remember which side was which though. And they just do that to like even everything out so that you have an even look at the end. So they do that. They get you to okay the sizes and everything, and then you obviously pick whether you want saline or silicone. Well, I chose silicone. But I do have a friend that has saline, and she said that she's never had an issue. Also, by the way, my surgeon was Dr. Anna Wooten. She's in Swickley, PA, or Wexford, PA. They're like 10 minutes apart. I forget which one's a surgery center and which one's her office. But she's up in that area. It's a little past Pittsburgh. She was absolutely wonderful both times I went to her because I did see her for my second surgery as well. Very knowledgeable. Very much cares for her patients. Definitely will tell you the pros and cons of things that you're doing, and if she feels that the implant is going to be too big for your body type, she will not do it, or so I've heard from another woman I know that went to her and that wanted bigger implants than what she got, but the doctor actually told her no, because just for her body type, that just wasn't, I don't want to say doable, but it just wasn't going to like fit. So anyway, when I picked out my implants, I told you the sizes. After, swelling and everything went down after the surgery, I found out that it was a 36C, which is what I wanted. I wanted a full C for my first surgery. But definitely something to prepare for. So they are going to give you like a front and back paper of things that you like can and can't eat or drink. Caffeine is one of those. So definitely if you have a caffeine addiction, think this through, or at least talk to your surgeon about, what you could do to, swap that out for something so you don't have caffeine withdrawals, because I had that issue my second surgery. So yeah, also, just so everyone knows, I don't feel that everyone needs plastic surgery. I don't want anyone to think that they need plastic surgery, but if it's something that you think will help your confidence, by all means, go do it, do a consultation, see how you feel after that. But definitely, if you don't feel like you're getting what you need from the first surgeon you have a consultation with, look around, see what your options are, because, I know one woman who went to a surgeon that she had, nothing but success with. And then I know another woman that went to a surgeon that basically told her that instead of doing a lift and an implant, that she should just do an implant because it's cheaper. So she went with a really big implant that is too big for her frame. And I don't think she regrets it. It's just, I've heard horror stories about things like that happening, and luckily for her it worked out, but I mean, it's not going to work out for everybody. So yes, when I went, picked out my sizes and everything, they did tell me that I could go with a bigger implant if I did want to, because I had that room in my chest, but I decided no, I want to look natural, so I went 36C. You have everything to prepare. They'll send stuff over to your pharmacy. The first time I had surgery, I got 800 milligram ibuprofen, I got an antibiotic, I got something for nausea, and I also got muscle relaxers. So, I mean, that all went fine. I never really used the muscle relaxers or the stuff for nausea, but I used the ibuprofen, and the antibiotics is basically a must just to make sure, like, everything's okay, your body's healing okay. It helps your body, like, heal when they give them to you. That's why they prescribe them to you. Yeah. So, coming out of surgery was very, very hard for me. Both times I had my breast done. It was very uncomfortable for me. I was basically almost like in a panic attack because I have my eyes closed, but like I'm kind of in between like awake and still kind of like zonked out. They're trying to wake me up. They're trying to bring me out of it. They're telling me not to move my feet, but I want to move my feet because at the same time I'm being held to a bed. I'm not strapped down, but I have a nurse on each side of me making sure I don't roll off of this bed, which thank you for that. And it's not their fault. It's just how you're supposed to, wake somebody up coming out of anesthetic. So after all that was done, I went home. Now I didn't really sleep because I was very, very uncomfortable. So I just went home and laid on my couch, and I still had it going through my system. So even when like my mom, my brother, and my dad came over, I didn't really talk. I just kind of like laid there and didn't really say much. So for about 3 or 4 days, I didn't have much of an appetite. I basically had to force myself to drink water because I wasn't even thirsty, because I mean I did have to take my antibiotics and everything. So I wasn't even thirsty though. Yes. So you do have like a weight restriction for 6 weeks when you get your breast augmentation done, or at least the first time you have a weight restriction for 6 weeks. The second time they told me it was 4 weeks, and it could be to 6 weeks. It was anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, but I just did the 6 weeks just to, make sure. So, the weight restriction on the paper, it says 5 pounds. I was told 10 pounds, so I just left it range from 5 to 10 pounds. Like, it was just kind of like situational awareness. Like, do I think this would be too heavy? Do I not? Stuff like that. So then, you have like a 1 week post-op, a 6 week post-op, 6 month, and 1 year. Basically, you just, you go, they make sure everything's healing right. They're making sure that they're dropping down into the pockets right. By the way, mine are under the muscle. You can get them on top of the muscle, but she went under the muscle for me. And they made the incision underneath my breast. So, yes. I also get the question, did they have to move my nipples at all? No, they did not. Because my boobs were deflated, but they weren't like sagging, if that makes any sense. So my nipple placement was actually just never an issue in the entire experience, both times. So both times they left everything alone except for just, the implants. So after the 6 week weight restriction, they tell you to just like ease yourself back in. And then you do. However, they tell you for up to like a year and a half, you will feel sharp pains shoot through your chest, which I did. Vibrators help with that, especially really, really sharp pains. If you take a vibrator and you just rub it on there like I did, and I know a couple other people that have, then it usually makes the pain subside, which luckily for me it did. But yeah, my second breast augmentation, I went from, those, I usually do like a median number of like what I did. So like my 370cc implants, that's like the number in between what I had. So that's just what I go for. But my 300 something cc implants, I went up to around 500 cc's my second surgery because I just wanted to go bigger. Nothing went wrong the first time. And she was actually a little disappointed when I went back to get a second breast augmentation, especially after only like almost 3 years. So when I went, she was like, what is it that I can fix? What is it that I did wrong? And I told her, you didn't do anything wrong. I just want to go bigger. This is just like a me decision. This wasn't anything that, you did wrong in any point of, this relationship. So we ended up, picking out the sizes, doing the same thing. Now, the second round of prescriptions that they sent to my pharmacy for my second surgery were a little bit different. I still had the antibiotic, the stuff for nausea, and the muscle relaxers, but instead of the 800 milligram ibuprofen, I got oxycodone, or oxycot, whatever you want to call it. We just say oxycodone around here. So that's what I got. again, everything went smoothly. My second surgery was nothing. It was so much easier. It I mean, I healed like the same. Actually, my incisions healed better the second time. They went in through the same incisions as the first surgery. My breast incisions healed better the second time. Literally, my first day home, I was already sleeping on my side, so I didn't have any issues with that. I went right back to work 3 days later, working doubles 5 days in a row. Um, Obviously, I still had that weight restriction, which I still kept up with, but I went right back to work. No issues. The first surgery, I had a little bit more issue going back to work just because I was so sore. Because, I had never had anything underneath my chest muscle, and now I have, these foreign objects underneath of it that are making me very, very sore. I need to get used to them. Well, the second one, we just swapped out implants. I went for a bigger implant, so I already had the pockets. So she basically told me that a lot of what I had wasn't swelling. I just had to wait for them to drop into the pockets that I already had. So my swelling wasn't nearly as much. My pain level was very moderate. I wasn't uncomfortable. I did sleep for like a day and a half. Thank God, because I was already worn out. So yeah. So second surgery, 10 out of 10, like super easy. However, still coming out of anesthetic was very, very difficult for me, and I just think it's like a mental block for me. I'm just not gonna change on that, and that's fine. So I went from a 36C to a 36 double D, which is what I have now. I wanted to keep my implants from my first one, but I completely forgot until I was coming out of anesthesia, and then they had already discarded them, unfortunately. But if I ever get a third one, I'll just tell them, beforehand that I want to keep my implants. But yes, it's definitely something I tell people, if it's something you've wanted for a very long time that'll help your confidence, 100% do it. But definitely make sure that it's something that you want and that's going to help, and that it's not something that like you just all of a sudden thought up in your brain and then you're going to feel bad about it later on. Obviously there's risks to everything, especially having implants. I've heard things where they actually make your mental health worse. Hi, Paunchy. Hi, Paunchy. That's my phone. That's my phone. Do you want to say hi? Hi, Paunchy. Yeah. Yeah. My baby boy. So anyway, so definitely please get out of my window. Please get out of my window. Out of the window. Thank you, baby. Hey, get down here. Get down here. Thank you. There you go. Sorry, his toy's on the ground, and for a hound, he's not very good at like sniffing it out. So I definitely think if it's gonna help you mentally, 100% get it. But if it's something like someone said they don't like about you or something like that, don't do it. It's very expensive. It's very painful. You're gonna have to get them, switched out at like around the 10-year mark. However, I heard this thing that like newer implants, you don't have to do that at the 10-year mark unless they rupture. That's another thing. Silicone implants, apparently if they rupture, most people 9 times out of 10 don't even know because they're so congealed in the implant that you just have no idea. So yes, I have no regrets about my implants. I've met multiple people that have, and I've met multiple people that haven't. It's just, whatever you want. But yeah, if you guys have like any questions or anything, just let me know down in the comment section. I can answer anything else if I left anything else out. I don't think so though, because like I said, I didn't take any time off work. I went right back to work because I like planned it around like days that I was off and like holidays and stuff. Definitely like think these things through though. It's not like a spur of the moment decision that you should be making. It's a decision that you need to think about. So, you know, go to a consultation, shop around, make sure you get the right surgeon for you, because there's a lot, and there's a lot of not good ones. So, yeah. Have a good night, everyone.